This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of MSPN Digital Television and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of MSPN Digital Television.
Turn it over to the broadcast booth for the pregame show on MSPN Digital Television.
Make your home your retreat. Fill your favorite spaces with fresh air, warm sunlight, and calming connections with the outdoors. Marvin Windows and Doors are designed to promote happier, healthier spaces in your home. At D&M Industries, we will walk you through how the beauty, thoughtful design features, and unparalleled performance of Marvin products can help you feel better in your home. Visit our D&M Industries showroom in Moorhead today.
Here's your chance to support MSPN Digital Television in one of three ways. First, everyone can subscribe to the MSPN YouTube channel absolutely free. Second, individuals and families can choose one of 3 monthly YouTube memberships. Third, local businesses can choose one of 2 monthly YouTube sponsorships. Visit our YouTube channel and look for and click the Join button to select the option that's best for you. For more information, or to get answers to your questions about MSPN memberships and sponsorships, give us a call today at 701-491-6776.
We are just about set for action here from Starion Bank Field in Fargo, North Dakota. Tommy Fox with you here on MSPN Digital Network. Mike producing our game here this afternoon. DGF post 397 against Fargo post 400. Junior Legion ball this afternoon. First pitch on the way, and it's a strike. Ethan Smith calling balls and strikes here in game one. Gareth Hansen umping the base paths. No balls and a strike to Drew Martin, the catcher, for it. Post 397. And it's a strike as it's fouled off to the right side. Griffin Powell on the hill for the Astros. He comes set with the 0-2 delivery. Ripped into left field and a base hit. Attacking the third pitch of the at-bat. And a quick base hit for Drew Martin. And the Rebels with a leadoff base runner for Xander Opsahl. Playing it short this afternoon. Powell looks back to first. Runner takes off, and that hit him. That hits Opsahl. And 2 runners on to start the game. First a single by Martin to left field. And then Opsel hit by a pitch. Xander Deutsch, center fielder, getting ready to step into the batter's box with a runner in scoring position early on. And we'll see if Fargo post 400 looks to play in case of a sacrifice bunt. Look back to second. Fouled back. DGF post 397, 12-7 on the season. The Fargo post 400 Astros with a record of 9-15 in total, 3-2 in the conference. Pitch inside for ball 2. Almost hit him. Or rather, ball 1. Counts even at 1-1. Martin at second, Opsel at first after the hit by pitch. Xander Deutsch stands strong in the batter's box. Powell's 1-1 on the way. Up the middle and a base hit for Xander Deutsch. And the stop sign is put up for Drew Martin. And the bases are loaded full of Rebels here in the first. Logan Thune, first baseman today for DGF post 397. All ducks on the pond for the Rebels. Powell fires in a strike. Little bit of a breeze here this afternoon. Beautiful day in Fargo, North Dakota. 0-1 pitch is popped up. This might be playable, and no, it's going to be a souvenir. It's now a 2-strike count. No balls and 2 strikes on Logan Thune. Here's the pitch from Powell. Did he go around? He did not. And no, they're saying he did. Strike 3 called as he went around, and the first strikeout of the day for Griffin Powell. And the first out of the inning. Recorded by Fargo post 400, and they needed that after giving up the first 3 base runners. A double play ball could end the inning. First pitch is inside. CJ Musow. He'll be the pitching counterpart of Griffin Powell. Pitch outside for a strike. Counts even at 1-1. Griffin Powell comes set with the bases loaded, full of Rebels. Outside again. Two balls and a strike on Musso. Here's the pitch from Powell. And it catches the inside for strike 2. Powell just trying to find that zone. Early in the game, so it's just going to take a little bit to get in a rhythm. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Fastball, and that's strikeout number 2 of the inning. And Powell has a chance to escape the inning unscathed. But he has to get through Jack Seidler, playing third base for DGF. Post 397. He got a piece. Big hack. Ian Halverson on deck. He is playing DH here today. Ben Suda, the catcher for Fargo post 400, having a little chat with Griffin Powell on the mound. No balls and a strike. Griffin Powell trying to escape the first. Ground ball off the glove of Powell. Fielded at second. Throw to first in time for out number 3. Nicely done by Hudson Lura. Off the glove of Powell. And Lura makes the play to first to end the inning. DGF post 397. Strands the bases loaded. The bottom of the first is coming up next on MSPN Digital Network.
Make your home your retreat. Fill your favorite spaces with fresh air, warm sunlight, and calming connections with the outdoors. Marvin Windows and Doors are designed to promote happier, healthier spaces in your home. At D&M Industries, we will walk you through how the beauty, thoughtful design features, and unparalleled performance of Marvin products can help you feel better in your home. Visit our D&M Industries showroom in Moorhead today.
Bottom of the first inning here at Starry and Bank Field in Fargo, North Dakota. DGF post 397 versus Fargo post 400. The Rebels in the top of the first stranded the bases loaded. They had the bases loaded with nobody out. A leadoff single by Drew Martin, then a hit by pitch to Xander Opsahl. And then a base hit for Xander Deutsch. And then 3 straight outs. That included 2 strikeouts from starting pitcher Griffin Powell. And now Fargo post 400 will have a chance to capitalize here in the bottom of the first. They'll be facing off against CJ Musso. Musso struck out in the top of the first inning. And Peyton Oshner will be leading off for Fargo post 400, playing shortstop today. Thomas Cutterball will be on deck, followed by Braden Donner. Griffin Powell will be batting cleanup. Ron Bjorum will be batting 5th. Magnus Liebelt will be batting 6th. Carson Cantler batting 7th. Hudson Lura batting 8th. And Ben Suda batting 9th. Two hits in the top of the first for DGF post 397. Again, they stranded the bases loaded. First strike of the inning is called. And that's what Fargo post 400 needs to do. They need to just minimize as much damage as possible. Bend, don't break kind of mentality. Hot shot up the middle and a base hit for Peyton Oshner. Nice solid piece of hitting. And both teams with the leadoff singles to start the game. Goes to show how excellent they are with just contact. And that's all you really need to do in this game. Just put a ball in play and make something happen. And Thomas Cutterball is looking to do just that with a runner on first. Slight lead at first for Oshner. High for ball 1. Musso behind in the count 1-0. He becomes set. And getting a piece of it to even the count at 1-1 was Thomas Cutterball. Playing in center field here in this game. Counts even at 1-1. Braden Donner is on deck. 1-1 pitch is a little chopper. This could be 2. And they're going to go the easy way to first for out number 1. That'll advance Oshner to second. He'll be in scoring position, so despite the out, that could pay in dividends for the Astros. As now Braden Donner has a chance to give Fargo post 400 the lead. Strike on the inside corner. Nice pitch. No balls and a strike. Peyton Oshner at second. He started the inning with a leadoff single up the middle. Oh, a filthy pitch that time by Musso. Pulled a string, and now it's 0-2. So Thomas Cutterbra in the last at bat. A sacrifice ground out. 0-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for C.J. Musso. Now Griffin Powell batting cleanup today. Pitching counterpart to Musso. There's now 2 away with a runner at second base. That's Peyton Oshner. Look back to second. The set and the pitch. Skips in the turf. A wild pitch. And now Oshner will be 90 feet away. Counts 1-0 on Powell. Powell smacks it into right field. This could be playable for out number 3, and it almost was caught. And was it caught? No, it wasn't. Not the easiest angle. Going right to that sidewall. Jake Musso almost got to it, but the count's even at 1-1 to Griffin Powell. Little duck snorting to right field, and making the catch is Jake Musso. He's got that one. And the Astros are retired here in the bottom of the first inning. We are scoreless after 1 inning of play here at Starion Bank Field. Top of the second is coming up next here on MSPN Digital Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level of my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Griffin Powell back to work for the Fargo Post 400 Astros here on the MSPN Digital Network at Starion Bank Field in North Dakota, facing off against the DGF Post 397 Rebels. No score through 1 inning of play. Ian Halverson, the DH, up to bat for the Rebels. DGF post 397 left the bases loaded in their last inning in the top of the first. 3 straight outs recorded by Fargo post 400 to get out of the inning unscathed. And a swing and a miss. Big cut. Solid pitch by Powell, who had 2 strikeouts in the top of the first, which paid off huge to get the Astros out of the top of the first, especially when Powell loaded the first 3 batters. A little bit of a check swing by Halverson. He was able to hold up. Counts even at 1-1. Powell comes set. 1-1 pitch is outside. Two one pitch is outside again. Good eye by Halverson. Powell's trying to get him to bite on that off-speed, looked like a slider that time. Just trying to get him to bite something on the outside. 3-1 pitch is high. He walked him. So a 5-pitch walk issued by Powell. Nolan Verdi coming up to bat. With a runner on to start the top of the second. Slight lead at first for Halverson. First pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch by Powell. And that seems to be his bread and butter, just trying to paint that outside corner, get hitters guessing. And not trying to give up anything too cheap. His command has been solid here in this game. And it's what's gotten him out of the top of the first. You know, you give up the first 3 base runners. The momentum seems to be on the opposing team's side, but you get back in your rhythm, you throw some strikes, and it's what has gotten Griffin Powell to where he is right now as the pitch is outside for ball 2. Two and one on Verdi. Slight lead at first for Halverson yet again. Throw back to first to check on Halverson. And both teams are going to want to be aggressive on the base paths here today. 2-1 pitch is up and in, and a swing and a miss by Verdi. Going with the high heat that time was Powell. And now we're deadlocked at a 2-2 count. Couple of shakes, look back to first. 2-2. And Verdi stays alive. Ooh, good cut. Trying to pull one to the right field side. We'll do it again. 2-2 count. Powell's pitch is a slow roller to the right side, and they'll go the easy way to first for out number 1. That was a slow roller. Not going to be an easy play. There was going to be no chance at 2. So that was great recognition by Hudson Lura. Realizing that he couldn't get the double play, but as long as you get 1, that's all that matters. Despite now being a runner in scoring position in Ian Halverson. And the pitch is way over the top and a wild pitch. And that makes the count 1-0. Mason Calling up to bat. Halverson is 90 feet away after the wild pitch. Fly ball to right field. This could get down quickly. No, it's going to be caught, but tagging is Halverson. Throw is not going to be in time. It gets away, and it's 1-0. DGF post 397. So a sac fly from Mason Calling is the first run of the game for either team. Drew Martin back up to bat, and he takes the ball outside. Martin led off the game with a base hit. That's what started the potential grand top of the first, but it was wiped clean. A slow roller, not going to be an easy play. Throw to first is in time. Nicely done by Peyton Oshner. And that is all for DGF post 397 in the top of the first. They get a sac fly from Mason Calling. 1-0 Rebels as we go to the bottom of the second inning.
Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or a night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
TCI Insurance was founded in 1985 with a simple mission in mind: to protect your assets. TCI Insurance has a long history of providing insurance coverage and loss prevention solutions to the region and strives to exceed your expectations. From agriculture, business, and personal insurance, our advisors are here to help walk you through the options and equip you with the knowledge you need to choose the coverage that will best suit your current stage of life. TCI Insurance. Call 701-277-1710 or visit them at the offices in West Fargo and Wimbledon. Learn more today at tciteam.com.
Nothing DGF post 397 after 1.5, thanks to a sac fly by Mason Calling in the top of the second. And Fargo post 400 looking to answer back. Starting pitcher for the Astros, Griffin Powell, has just done an excellent job at least minimizing the damage despite a 1-0 lead for DGF post 397. One ball and no strikes. CJ Musso going back to work. And there is strike number 1. Ronan Bjorum at the plate. Takes the ball outside. Counts now at 2-1. Catches the outside for strike 2. Good pitch by Musso. And for the record, both teams doing a good job minimizing damage early. 2-2 pitches. Oh, look out. Nearly hit him. Up and in. And the count's full at 3-2. Payoff pitch is fouled to the right side. Bjorum did just an excellent job at just staying alive that time because he barely got a piece of that one to keep the count at 3-2. Another payoff. Snaps in there, but it's going to be out of the zone just a tad. And a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the second. Magnus Liebelt up to bat. All of the innings so far, both teams have started with a base runner with no outs. Pitch taken for a ball. Liebelt playing in right field. Musso comes set with the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside, skips in the turf for ball 2. Bjorn with a slight lead at first. 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Trying to go back to that high heat, trying to mix in that off speed, but trying to not get too greedy with the off speed. Just trying to stay neck and neck with Liebelt, who's ahead 2-1. And now Musso will step off the mound as Bjorn dancing back and forth at first. Look back to first. And the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Might have gotten out in front of it a little bit. Counts now at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Liebelt. Carson Cantler on deck. Runner takes off. Inside for a ball and a stolen base. Feet first slide in a second for Bjorn. And he's in scoring position with the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Magnus Liebelt. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed. Musso with a big strikeout that time. May only be 1 out here in the bottom of the second. But Liebelt was battling the entire time. And now Carson Cantler, the third baseman, will look to get the job done. Little soft ground ball nearly grabbed by Musso. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. That advances Bjorn to third. Here's Hudson Lura. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Runner 90 feet away for the Astros. Pitch taken inside. Runner on third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. High fly ball to the right side. Is this playable? No. It's onto the patio and out of play. Lots of great scenery at Starry and Bank Field. If you ever get a chance to go watch Legion ball, it's an excellent ballpark. 1-2 pitch. Little chopper to second. He's going to have to hurry, and he's safe. Laurel with great base running beats out the throw, and the game is tied. Lura with blazing speed, and I don't think calling expected Lura to get there so fast. Nothing really wrong with the way calling played that. Lura's just that fast. First pitch taken for a strike. Ben Suda, his first at-bat of the game. Oh, 0-1 pitch is taken a little high and outside. Fargo posts for 100, tying the game with an infield single by Hudson Lura. He's at first. Ball 2, taken a little high. Peyton Oshner's on deck. Musso looks back to first. 2-1 pitch is going to pop out of the glove, but it's going to be for a strike. Drew Martin couldn't hang on, but it was a strike nonetheless. Musso looking to get out of the inning. Runner takes off on a 2-2 pitch and a base hit to right field. Turning on the Jets is Lura, and he's going to be into third standing after a base hit by Ben Suda. And there's runners on the corners now for Fargo post 400. Here comes Peyton Oshner. He's 1 for 1. And a little meeting on the mound. Between the infield. And we'll see if the corners play in here. There is 2 outs. So a bunt might be out of the question. But Oshner looking to deliver the goods against CJ Musso. Quick throwback, nearly got away. Jaden Hansen, the courtesy runner at first for Fargo post 400. Strike 1 of the at-bat to Oshner. No balls and a strike to Peyton Oshner. Runners at the corners. Infield slightly creeps in. No throw and a stolen base. Jaden Hansen advances into scoring position on the stolen base. No contest. And the stakes have risen. And Oshner got a piece. Can Musso escape the bottom of the second? The 1-2. Good pitch, but it just missed. Counts even at 2-2. Hansen at second, Lura at third. Slow chopper, it's going to stay foul. Oshner just trying to stay alive long enough to find a pitch he can send into the gap. Center field shifted a little bit to his right. Xander Deutsch a little bit to his right. So we'll see if Oshner can find the right center field gap. He can't this time. It's going to stay fair. And no, they're going to say foul. Just foul. It was staying fair for a little bit. Jack Seidler went to glove it. And we continue the 2-2 count. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, 1-1 our score. Musso, the 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed. Pulled a string and he escapes the bottom of the second. That was a big one for CJ Musso. 2 runners left on base. We've played 2 innings at Starion Bank Field. 1-1 as we head to the top of the third.
Make your home your retreat. Fill your favorite spaces with fresh air, warm sunlight, and calming connections with the outdoors. Marvin Windows and Doors are designed to promote happier, healthier spaces in your home. At D&M Industries, we will walk you through how the beauty, thoughtful design features, and unparalleled performance of Marvin products can help you feel better in your home. Visit our D&M Industries showroom in Moorhead today.
Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or a night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
One our score here at Starion Bank Field. Junior Legion Ball on MSPN Digital Network between the DGF Post 397 Rebels and the Fargo Post 400 Astros. In the bottom of the second inning, it was an infield single that got the Astros on the board to tie the game. And they almost got 2 more. With Hudson Laura at third, courtesy runner Jaden Hansen at second. But then Peyton Oshner succumbed to an off-speed pitch thrown by CJ Musso. But it was Hudson Laura who tied the game with an infield single. Swinging strike to start it out. Oh, 1 pitch is swung on and missed again, so back-to-back swinging strikes. Xander Opsel looking to stay alive against Griffin Powell. The 0-2. Fouled into the netting. We'll run it back. 0-2. Reaching out and sending one out of play was Xander Opsel. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Snaps in there for ball 1. Lots of solid at-bats here in this game. Great plate discipline from both sides as that one sails away. Griffin Powell with 2 Ks in the game. And he misses down low for ball 3. Counts full. Payoff pitch is fouled again. DGF Post 397, 12-7 overall on the season. Another payoff is outside, and a full count results in a walk. So for the third straight inning, DGF post 397 will have a leadoff man on to start their top half of the inning. Here's Xander Deutsch. Deutsch is 1 for 1. He almost drove in a run in the top of the first, but it wasn't deep enough. Throw back to first is not in time. Ethan Smith calling balls and strikes here in this game. Gareth Hansen commanding the base paths. Another check on Opsal at first. Two walks issued in the game for Griffin Powell. Opsal takes off, throws outside. Throw down to second is not going to be close. Throws a little wide to the right. But Opsal got an excellent jump and a stolen base. Trying to do a little pitch out, but it led to no avail. Opsal with great speed. He's now in scoring position for DGF post 397. 2-0 to Deutsch. Little flare into left, and the catch is made for out number 1. Braden Donner with the catch. 1 away here in the top of the third. Here's Logan Toon. Look back to second. Wind starting to pick up here. Still a gorgeous day in Fargo Moorhead. And the wind can most certainly impact where the ball is played and where the ball goes for that matter. Another look back to second. Pitch outside for ball 2. Griffin Powell eyeing the runner at second. Rocks and deals. And Toon might have gotten a piece of it, but it's the first strike of the at-bat. First base playing slightly in. Another look back to second. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Pitch in the turf. Counts even at 2-2. Powell's got a mix of some nasty off-speed, and he uses it well. He doesn't force it. He just lets it flow throughout the at-bat. 2-2 pitch is ripped in the air to left. Routine fly ball out for out number 2. Back-to-back flyouts to left field. Braden Donner making the catch. And CJ Musso will be up to bat. He struck out his last time up. Opsal still in scoring position for DGF post 397. Uh-oh, look out. That nearly hit him. Got out of the way just in time. 1 ball and no strikes. One on delivery. And that catches the outside for a strike. Good pitch. Griffin Powell trying to minimize the damage yet again. And Musso steps out of the box briefly. One ball and a strike, and a swing and a miss. Astros trying to escape trouble again. Runner in scoring position for DGF post 397. At this point, it's a game of cat and mouse between Griffin Powell and CJ Musso. 1-2 pitch. And that might have gotten the knob of the bat, and Musso stays alive. Throw back to second is not in time. Trying to keep Opsal honest. And with a runner like him, that's something you're going to need to do. One-two pitch. And just inside, and Opsal will take advantage. A stolen base, no contest. And just like that, he's 90 feet away. So 2 stolen bases here in this inning for Opsal. And he'll have a slight lead at third. Powell's 2-2. Inside for ball 3. Infield not really shifting. Neither is the outfield, all playing normal depth. Payoff pitch, outside, he walked him. Runners on the corners now for DGF post 397. Here's Jack Seidler. He grounded out to second his last time up. Second time at the plate with at least 1 runner in scoring position. Looking to deliver an insurance run for DGF post 397 here in the top of the third. And a little bit of a check swing. He did not go, according to Gareth Hansen. Good check by Seidler. Playing third base today for DGF post 397. Opsal at third. Musso at first. He's going to take off. Throw back to third is not in time. And that is what DGF post 397 does. Musso with a stolen base. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position for DGF post 397. Popped out of play. Counts at 1-2. One and two to Seidler. In the air to right field. Slicing quickly. It's going to drop in for a base hit. 2 runs will score. Seidler is going to chug into second. And a 2-run double for Jack Seidler. And DGF post 397 leads 3-1 in the third. That was falling quickly, and Liebelt in right field, as that's going to be another wild pitch, and nearly resulted in a run, but Seidler smartly staying at third. And it somehow stayed inside the right field line. One-0 pitch is going to get to the backstop yet again, and no chance at being safe, and there's out number 3. Seidler tried it on another wild pitch, but he is gunned out to end the inning with Ian Holverson still at bat. 2-run score for DGF Post 397. They lead 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Make your home your retreat. Fill your favorite spaces with fresh air, warm sunlight, and calming connections with the outdoors. Marvin Windows and Doors are designed to promote happier, healthier spaces in your home. At D&M Industries, we will walk you through how the beauty, thoughtful design features, and unparalleled performance of Marvin products can help you feel better in your home. Visit our D&M Industries showroom in Moorhead today.
When one of us comes up short,
we all come up short.
There's no vape in team.
Think there are only school supplies in your child's backpack? Think again. 5 e-cigarettes were hiding in plain sight. Parents, do your homework.
Learn more about vaping at health.mn.gov/e-cigarettes.
A 2-run double by Jack Seidler gets DGF Post 397 in front. 3-1 here on MSPN Digital Network. Tommy Fox with you, Mike producing our game today. And it was just an unfortunate turn of events. It was not an easy angle in right field for Magnus Liebelt. It was slicing fast, and it just ended up finding the right spot inside the right field line to drop in for a hit. And that's one of the toughest jobs in the outfield, just trying to judge where the ball is going to land. Because it looked like it was going to land foul, and then it just ended up finding a spot inside the foul line, and it resulted in a 2-run double. Pitch gets away. 3 straight balls. CJ Musso back to work, facing against Thomas Cutterba. .30 pitch is a strike. Fifth pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Little chopper left side. This will be playable. Throw to first in time, and I think Cutterba fell down on his way to first base. So now 1 away, and he seems to be okay. So 5-3 on the putout for Cutterba. Braden Donner back up to the plate. 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be off of Donner. That must have hurt. Fouled it off his foot. He stays alive in the count. One-two pitch. It's a little slow roller. That's going to bounce foul to the right side. One and two to count on Braden Donner. Curveball snaps in outside for ball two. It's not going to be the coolest day in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Another foul ball to the backstop. Could see highs in the 90s today. Not ideal weather. And a called strike three. And the wind can only help to an extent. That's the third strikeout of the game for Musso. It's a backwards K. Griffin Powell up to bat. He flew out to right field his first time up, and he takes a strike. And for these players, hydration is going to be essential for playing in this heat, and he takes a ball. And mentally in this heat, it could play a factor as well. 1-1 pitch is going to find the turf for ball two. Fouled off out of play. And Fargo post 400, they're in a little bit of a logjam in the junior conference standings. In there with the Fargo post 2 Bombers and the Minot 26ers, and that one's behind Powell for ball 3. Powell, ground ball to the left side. Should be an easy out, and it is. And that is all for Fargo post 400 here in the bottom of the third inning. DGF post 397 still leads 3-1. We've played 3 innings of baseball from Starry and Bank Field.
TCI Insurance was founded in 1985 with a simple mission in mind to protect your assets. TCI Insurance has a long history of providing insurance coverage and loss prevention solutions to the region and strives to exceed your expectations. From agriculture, business, and personal insurance, our advisors are here to help walk you through the options and equip you with the knowledge you need to choose the coverage that will best suit your current stage of life. TCI Insurance. Call 701-277-1710 or visit them at the offices in West Fargo and Wimbledon. Learn more today at tciteam.com.
Three-1 lead for DGF post 397 as we head to the top of the fourth here at Starry and Bank Field on a gorgeous Thursday afternoon in Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo post 400 was shut out in the last bottom half of inning number 3. Solid pitching by C.J. Musso. Griffin Powell back to work for Fargo post 400. In the first inning, neither team scored. DGF post 397 in their top half of the first, loaded the bases, and stranded the bases loaded. There was nobody out with the bases full, and 3 straight outs were recorded by Fargo post 400. And in the bottom of the first, it was no better for the Astros as they couldn't get any runs home. But in the top of the second inning, DGF post 397 was able to get a sac fly from Mason Calling to make it 1-0, the first lead of the game for either team. And in the bottom half of the second, it was Hudson Laurel with an infield single to tie it up at 1-1. And then in the top of the third, it was a 2-run double by Jack Seidler that just stayed fair inside the right field line to give DGF post 397 a 3-1 lead. And that is where we are currently right now in the top of the fourth, after a 1-2-3 inning recorded by C.J. Musso. Griffin Powell misses outside. One pitch outside for ball 2. Ian Halverson up to bat. He drew a walk his last time up. He was the first run that scored in the game on the sac fly from Mason Calling. 2-1 to count. Make it 3-1. Halverson showing great plate discipline. 5th pitch of the at-bat is swung on and missed, and oh boy, Griffin Powell pulled a string on that one. Makes it 3-2. Payoff pitch outside, and another walk drawn by Ian Halverson. And now Nolan Verdi will be up to bat. 4 straight innings for DGF post 397, where they've had the leadoff man on. First pitch outside for a ball. Verdi's ready with the 1-0 delivery to him, and he takes ball 2. Look back to first. Powell behind in the count, 2-0. Trying to keep his team within reach. Swung on and missed. Went with the changeup that time. Counts at 2-1. Throw back to first, and it's going to get away. Ian Halverson's going to trot into second. That'll be an error on the Astros. It's going to go on Powell trying to throw back to first. Verdi gets a piece. So that'll be recorded as an E1. 2-2 to Verdi. Grounded to the right side and foul. Verdi grounded out to second. Right to Hudson Lura. 2-2 pitch. Inside for ball 3. Look back to second briefly. 3-2 pitch from Powell is swung on and missed for strike 3. Verdi came up empty, and a big strikeout for Griffin Powell. And there will be a meeting on the mound, and we might have a pitching change. And the Astros will make the switch. A 3-1 lead for DGF post 397. Griffin Powell's day is done. They are going to bring in Peyton Oshner to pitch. So Powell will go 3 1/3 with 75 pitches. And Griffin Powell struck out 3 over that span of 3 1/3 innings. And he also walked 4 batters, and he hit 1. Gave up 3 hits on 3 runs given up. And now Peyton Oshner will get to work for the Fargo post 400 Astros. Trailing 3-1 here at Starry and Bank Field. Couple more warm-up tosses, and he should be good to go. Mason Calling will be at the plate. Ian Halverson goes back to second. Let's see what Oshner can bring to the table. Misses just inside. So Griffin Powell will now move to short. So just a flip-flop between shortstop and pitcher between Peyton Oshner and Griffin Powell. 1-0 pitch, grounded to the left side. Check on the runner at second, throw to first. Big stretch in time for out number 2. Nicely done over at first. And there's 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Ronan Bjorum with an excellent stretch after the throw by Carson Cantler at third. Pitches inside. So Drew Martin is back in the box. 1 for 2 after the ground out by Mason Calling. Sharp ground ball. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first. Not in time. Runner coming home. Throw at the plate. Not in time. It's 4-1 DGF post 397, and in the process, Drew Martin advances to second. So not only does he beat the throw, a run scores, that being Halverson from second. He just kept running It's 4-1. And now it's Xander Opsel at the plate. In his 2 plate appearances, he was hit by a pitch and he walked. And that includes 2 stolen bases. He flips one into shallow right center field. That's going to fall down for a hit. Coming in to score is Drew Morton, and it's 5-1 DGF post 397. Just a solid base hit. Got it off the end of the bat, just flipped it into right field into no man's land. And now you have more speed on the base paths. Xander Deutsch will look to extend the inning. Doing some damage against Peyton Oshner. Five hits on 5 runs here in this game for DGF post 397. Look back to first. Runner takes off. Throw down to second is in the turf. And a stolen base for Xander Opsel. That's his 3rd of the game. And he's in scoring position yet again. To a pitch, grounded to the right side. Should be the inning. Kicked around by Laura. Throw to first. Not in time. Throw home. Play at the plate. And out at home. Solid heads-up play over at first. Gunning down Opsel at home. And that is how the top of the 4th will end. 5-1 lead, DGF post 397 when we come back.
Here's your chance to support MSPN Digital Television in one of 3 ways. First, everyone can subscribe to the MSPN YouTube channel absolutely free. Second, individuals and families can choose one of 3 monthly YouTube memberships. Third, local businesses can choose one of 2 monthly YouTube sponsorships. Visit our YouTube channel and look for and click the join button to select the option that's best for you. For more information or to get answers to your questions about MSPN memberships and sponsorships, give us a call today at 701-491-6776. TCI Insurance was founded in 1985 with a simple mission in mind to protect your assets. TCI Insurance has a long history of providing insurance coverage and loss prevention solutions to the region and strives to exceed your expectations. From agriculture, business, and personal insurance, our advisors are here to help walk you through the options and equip you with the knowledge you need to choose the coverage that will best suit your current stage of life. TCI Insurance. Call 701-277-1710 or visit them at the offices in West Fargo and Wimbledon. Learn more today at tciteam.com.
(5-1) lead for DGF post 397 here on MSPN Digital Network. Fargo post 400 looking to climb their way back into it. A pitching substitution by Fargo post 400, taking Griffin Powell out of the game after 3 1/3, replaced by Peyton Oshner. He would give up 2 runs in the top half of the 4th. And it's now 5-1. DGF post 397 on top. CJ Musso back to work. Sharp ground ball to the left side. Picked cleanly at short. Throw across the diamond and not in time. Taking Logan Toon off the bag. Good effort, though, by Xander Opsel. Nice sliding stab over at short. But it was not in time. So that'll be called an infield hit. Counts 1-0 now on Liebelt. After the infield hit by Ronan Bjorum. Pitch outside, throw back to first. Not in time. Slight lead at first, 2-0 count. Make that 2-1 on Liebelt. Carson Cantler is on deck. Fifth pitch of the at-bat is inside for ball 4. So Fargo post 400 gets 2 base runners with nobody out. First an infield single by Ronan Bjorum. And then Magnus Liebelt draws a walk. So now Carson Cantler will have a chance to drive in a run as Ronan Bjorum is in scoring position. And a bunt is laid down, but it's going to roll foul. Look back to second in the 0-1. Another bunt laid down. This one a little bit better. And no, they're going to say it's foul. It's a foul ball, and that kind of hit Cantler, and he's shaken up a little bit. So now the count's at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 runners on, nobody out. Skips in the turf for ball 1. One and 2 to count. Bjorum at second, Liebelt at first. Inside for strike 3. Painted the inside corner. And the first out of the inning recorded by DGF Post 397. Pitch is way out inside. It was behind him, matter of fact, and that results in a double steal. Hudson Laura back at the plate. Nearly hit him. Two runners in scoring position now after the double steal. Little pop-up right center field, falling quickly, and it's going to be caught. Tagging and scoring from third is Bjorum, and it's 5-2 DGF Post 397 on the sac fly by Hudson Laura. And that results in Liebelt tagging as well from second. Ben Suda at the plate. Ground ball foul. Ben Suda had a hit in his last at-bat, including the fact he was replaced with courtesy runner Jaden Hansen. Peyton Oshner is on deck. The 0-2. Off the end of the bat, should be the inning. Throw to first. And CJ Musso gets out of the bottom of the fourth. But Fargo post 400 scores one, and they trail by 3 as we head to the top of the 5th.
Make your home your retreat. Fill your favorite spaces with fresh air, warm sunlight, and calming connections with the outdoors. Marvin Windows and Doors are designed to promote happier, healthier spaces in your home. At D&M Industries, we will walk you through how the beauty, thoughtful design features, and unparalleled performance of Marvin products can help you feel better in your home. Visit our D&M Industries showroom in Moorhead today.
Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or a night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
(5-2) lead for DGF Post 397 here on the MSPN Digital Network. Tommy Fox with you, Mike, our producer here this afternoon. 5-2 lead for DGF Post 397 after a 1-run bottom of the 4th for the Fargo Post 400 Astros. A sac fly from Hudson Laura. He has driven in all 2 runs this afternoon for the Astros. Peyton Oshner going back to work after giving up 2 runs in the top of the 4th after a pitching change, replacing Griffin Powell, who's now at short. Clouds are now starting to scatter a little more in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Five hits on 5 runs for DGF Post 397. And for Fargo Post 400, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors committed. Logan Thune back in the box. First pitch at the top of the 5th is going to skip in the turf for ball 1. One-0 pitch from Oshner is going to miss wide. Now the 2-0. Chopped foul. Thune is 0 for 2 here in this game. Struck out in the first at bat. And he flew out to left his last time up. Two balls and 2 strikes. Oshner's pitch is going to be fought off again. We play on. Here's the 2-2. Curveball missed. Payoff pitch from Oshner. Hit hard, but foul. These DGF post 397 Rebels, they know how to extend at bats. Another payoff. Ripped into left field, a base hit. Solid hitting. Solid piece of hitting that time by Logan Toon. And another leadoff man aboard for DGF post 397.
Pitcher number 20, CJ Musso.
And CJ Musso steps into the box. In other updates, the Minnesota Twins playing in their series finale in Miami against the Marlins. They trail 4-0 in the top of the 5th. They won last night 2-1. Simeon Woods Richardson, excellent pitching. Now they're looking to win the series this afternoon. Look back to first. Slight lead for Toon at first. It's going to skip away in a wild pitch. Toon is going to stroll into second with no contest. A wild pitch. Counts even at 1-1. DGF post 397 looking to add to the damage. CJ Musso takes ball 2. Two 2-1. Outside for ball 3. And the wind is for sure not going to help as much for the Heat. 5th pitch of the at-bat, Dan, that might have hit him, and regardless, it's ball 4. That might have hit him, but he is going to advance regardless. And there will be a little bit of a mound visit. That might have just evaded him, but the focus is going to be the discussion on the mound. Between Peyton Oshner the infield and the coaching staff of the Astros. They all depart. So Jack Seidler, who had a 2-run double in the top of the 3rd, steps in with 2 runners on, nobody out. Toon at second, Musso at first. Fly ball to right field, not hit very deep, and it's gonna fall in. A misjudgment in right field. The runners go station to station. And the question is if they'll rule that a hit, and it looks like they will.
Designated hitter number 18, Ian Halverson.
And the wind is certainly not helping that. Bases loaded again. Pitch outside. Ian Halverson takes a ball. And when the sun is beaming right down on the outfield, you're really going to have to play a tough game on where the ball is going to land. And with the wind playing a factor as well, it's a dangerous game. 1-1 pitch. And it bounces out of the mitt for a brief moment, but then recollected by Ben Suda. Two and one on Halverson, bases full of DGF post 397 Rebels. Two. Curveball missed. We could be seeing another pitching change here. Bases loaded and a full count. Here it comes. And Halverson got a piece. Count stays full at 3-2. Another payoff. High fly ball out of play, or is it? And it's going to bounce in the dugout and then onto the top of the DGF post 397 dugout. So the at-bat continues. Good battle between Peyton Oshner and Ian Halverson. 3-2. Line drive to center. Should be deep enough to get a run in. Tagging his Tune. The throw home is going to be up the first base line. And they're going to have him caught in a rundown, or will they? No, they won't. So Tune scores on the sac fly. Musso almost got caught between second and third. He advances to third. And it's 6-2 DGF post 397 on top.
Left fielder, number 33, Nolan Verdi.
So now it's CJ Musso at third, Jack Seidler at first. One away in the fifth. Nolan Verdi cutting a miss. Verdi is 0 for 2. Runner takes off. Throw to third is going to skip once. And a stolen base for Jack Seidler. And these DGF post 397 Rebels know how to take advantage on the base paths. Just the little things make the biggest difference in these types of games. 0-2. Off the end of the bat and foul. If you're able to just put balls in play and get those runners in scoring positions, you are going to be sitting pretty. And that hits him. That hits Verdi, and the bases will be loaded.
Second baseman, number 11, Mason Coley.
Here's Mason Coling. At the first run batted in of the game, a sac fly in the top of the second. And that sails just high. (6-2) our score on the MSPN Digital Network. Tommy Fox with you, Matt our producer this afternoon. Ground ball through the left side, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another. He is safe. No throw to third. And into second is Coling with a double. A 2-run double, and it's 8-2 DGF post 397.
Catcher, number 7, Drew Martin.
Musso scores from third. Seidler scores from second. Verdi able to advance to third. And it's all DGF post 397 and another base hit. It's now 9-2. Drew Martin able to deliver. That scores Verdi easily from third. Calling advances to third. And we might have a pitching change here. And that will be the case. A 4-run fifth inning for the DGF Post 397 Rebels. And things have gone from 0 to 100 really fast. Owen Pfeiffer will be on the mound for Fargo Post 400 now, replacing Peyton Oshner. Who goes 2 full innings, giving up 6 runs total. And they will bring in the southpaw. Jackson Nedham will be playing in right field now. And Jaden Hansen will be playing at third base. So a couple substitutions for the Astros. Bjorum will be at first. So a little bit of Tetris being played by the Fargo Post 400 pitching staff. Or rather, not only the pitching staff, but the coaching staff in general. So after the RBI single by Drew Martin, a slew of substitutions for the Astros, and now Xander Opsel will step in with runners on the corners. And still 1 away. So a ground ball out is the best hope for Fargo Post 400. All it takes is 1 ground ball to induce a double play. Pfeiffer looks to first. Misses outside. Nine runs on 8 hits for DGF Post 397. Inside, that nearly hit him. Counts at 2-0. And a walk. So that'll load the bases yet again. That'll set the table for Xander Deutsch. He's 1 for 2. Looking to blow this thing wide open. Takes one inside for ball 1. And this is the ideal matchup you would want. A lefty-lefty matchup with a double play possibility. Just about finding the zone and getting a ground ball. Deutsch awaits the 2-2, or rather the 2-0. Now it's 3-0. Pfeiffer trying to find that zone. In danger of giving up a bases-loaded walk. Out of the wind. And he missed. So a bases-loaded walk that scores a run. And it's 10-2 DGF post 397. First pitch of the at-bat is outside. And there's the first strike. Trey Knockmoose. Pinch hitting his first at-bat of the game as he takes a ball outside. Pinch hitting for Logan Thune. Two one, Sales high. Three and one, bases loaded, one out here in the top of the fifth. High pop-up, shallow right field. And the catch is made. Tagging from third is Martin. He'll slide in safely. And a sac fly by Knockmoose makes it 11-2. CJ Musso is up to bat. A 6-run fifth inning. Just out of the zone for ball one. Lots of insurance runs from DGF post 397. Solid contact on a lot of these hits. And the non-hits as well, including the sac flies, just deep enough to get runs in. Really helped their case here in the fifth. As Musso fouls one off to the right side. Two-one pitch. Lands in there for strike two. Nicely done by Pfeiffer. Trying to get out of the fifth inning. Bases loaded, 2-2. Inside. Or rather, runners on first and second. The bases were loaded. They have been loaded on a lot of occasions throughout this game. Runners take off, and it's ball four. Now the bases are loaded with two outs here in the top of the fifth. Jack Seidler getting ready to step into the box, and there will be another meeting on the mound. So Opsel and Deutsch took off, but it wouldn't have mattered. And we'll see if there's another change. Seems to be just a discussion to get Pfeiffer in a rhythm. And everybody departs. So Opsel at third, Deutsch at second, Musso at first. Seidler looking to deliver the goods here in the fifth. They've already scored 6. Can they plate more? inside for ball one. Check on the runner at second, nearly sailed high, and that nearly worked perfectly for Xander Opsahl. Had that sailed into center, that could have played it a run to make it 12-2. Right back at the netting for a foul ball. One pitch, sails high. Pfeiffer trying to find that zone, and he misses wide. Three and one, and he missed. A run will score on a bases-loaded walk. Seidler takes first, and it's 12-2 DGF post 397, and we'll have another pitching change. So Pfeiffer is done for the day. "20 pitches for Pfeiffer. A 7-run inning for DGF post 397. Hudson Laura will be getting some reps in on the mound. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. A 7-run 5th inning for DGF post 397. Laura has plated the lone 2 runs here in this game, an infield single and then a sac fly. The infield single came in the bottom of the 2nd. And then the sac fly came in the bottom of the 4th. And just a reminder, we will have more Legion Ball coming up here on the MSPN Digital Network, as the Fargo Post 400 Stars will be in action against DGF Post 397. Jake Musso will be in the box. Lots of substitutions and switches for Fargo Post 400. First pitch of the at-bat, a swing and a miss. Nice job by Laura. Good pitch. Into right field, and a foul ball. Sailing over the head of Owen Pfeiffer, who's now playing at first. And the count quickly becomes 0-2, so can Laura get out of the 5th? And fouled off. 2 straight foul balls. Jake Musso looking to add to the damage. The 0-2. A little bit of off speed inside. Counts at 1-2. Going right to work. Inside. Just missed. Almost looked like a quick pitch there that time by Laura. Here comes the 2-2. Up the middle and a base hit for Jake Musso. 2 runs will come in to score. The throw home is up the line. It gets away to the backstop. Jake Musso goes to second. And it's 14-2 DGF post 397. So a 2-run single plus an error for Jake Musso. Seidler will be at third, Musso at second. One pitch is outside for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 from Laura. Swing and a miss. Some good off-speed that time. Matt Eilertson, pinch hitting for Nolan Verdi. Looking to extend the inning, the 2-2. Almost went to the backstop, pitched behind him. Runners on second and third, the payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him. Nice job by Laura to get out of the 5th. A 9-run inning for DGF post 397. 14-2 lead for DGF post 397 when we come back on the MSPN Digital Network.
Here's your chance to support MSPN Digital Television in one of 3 ways. First, everyone can subscribe to the MSPN YouTube channel absolutely free. Second, individuals and families can choose one of 3 monthly YouTube memberships. Third, local businesses can choose one of 2 monthly YouTube sponsorships. Visit our YouTube channel and look for and click the Join button to select the option that's best for you. For more information or to get answers to your questions about MSPN memberships and sponsorships, give us a call today at 701-491-6776.
TCI Insurance was founded in 1985 with a simple mission in mind to protect your assets. TCI Insurance has a long history of providing insurance coverage and loss prevention solutions to the region and strives to exceed your expectations. From agriculture, business, and personal insurance, our advisors are here to help walk you through the options and equip you with the knowledge you need to choose the coverage that will best suit your current stage of life. TCI Insurance. Call 701-277-1710 or visit them at the offices in West Fargo and Wimbledon. Learn more today at tciteam.com.
Well, this is essentially the last stand for the Fargo Post 400 Astros, as if they don't score 3 runs in this bottom half of the 5th, the game is over. DGF Post 397 putting up a 9 spot in the top of the 5th, mowing right through the pitching staff of Fargo Post 400. And up to bat for the Post 400 Astros, Jackson Nedham, his first at-bat of the game. Head coach Chayton Sen doing whatever he can to at least extend the game and get some other guys more playing time. 1-1 pitch. Zips in there for strike 2. One-two pitch, swung on and missed. He got him. That's out number 1. CJ Musso keeping it going. Through 4 1/3, he has been brilliant. Despite giving up 2 runs, all to the same player in Hudson Lura, who got the Astros out of the top of the 5th. He's been brilliant. Swung on and missed. Jack Carlson up to bat. 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-1. Wind's still howling pretty good. Still a beautiful day in Fargo. Fargo Moorhead. Here's the 2-1. Catches the zone for strike 2. Here comes the 2-2. Called strike 3 as Musso with back-to-back Ks. This one a backwards K. And the Astros are down to their final out. Musso misses outside. Braden Donner at the plate. He struck out twice. He has been, or rather, CJ Musso has been the worst nightmare for Braden Donner. And that hit him. So the first time that Donner has reached base is by a hit by pitch. And Griffin Powell will be up to bat. Astros still down to their final out, trying to extend the inning against CJ Musso, who's only given up 2 runs and 4 hits across 4 2/3. Throw down to second is almost going to go into center field, and a stolen base for Donner, and he's in scoring position. So that's a good start. Get the stolen base, get the runner in scoring position, and let the batter in the box do the rest. Just the small fundamentals, the most important parts of a game. Pitch misses outside, 2-0. Ground ball through the left side and a base hit. They will not send the runner home. So a base hit for Griffin Powell. Donner moves to third. And back-to-back base runners for Fargo post 400, and Owen Pfeiffer's up to bat with a chance to drive in a run. Pfeiffer takes a strike right down the heart of the plate. No balls and a strike. Musso deals, and he just misses the zone. Again, coming up on the MSPN Digital Network, we'll have the Fargo Post 400 Stars coming up. 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. So a scoring summary. DGF post 397 have scored 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 9 in the fifth. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's going to be blocked in front. Counts at 3-1. And for the Astros, a Fargo post 400, they scored 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. 2 runs on 5 hits for them. 14 runs on 9 hits for DGF post 397. 3-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. And now, Fargo post 400 is down to their final strike. Pfeiffer looking to extend the game. Astros down 12, 14-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Runners take off, and a called strike 3, and that's the ball game. Pfeiffer is frozen, and that is it for this one here this afternoon. A 14-2 final. A complete game for CJ Musso. The post-game wrap-up will be coming up next here on the MSPN Digital
Good
Network.
sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit DoolittlesRestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill, 2112 25th Street South in Fargo, or call ahead at 701-478-2200.
A final score from Starry Bank Field in Fargo, North Dakota. The DGF Post 397 Rebels took down the Fargo Post 400 Astros by a final score of 14-2. Tommy Fox with you here on the MSPN Digital Network. Mike producing our game this afternoon. A quick look at the line score before we set the table for Game 2 of the doubleheader here at Starry Bank Field, featuring the Fargo Post 400 Stars, or rather the Comets. As for the DGF Post 397 Rebels, it started out a little bit slow. They loaded the bases in the top of the first inning with nobody out. They couldn't get anything in that inning, and neither could Fargo Post 400. So in the top of the second, they get a sac fly from Mason Colling. That made it 1-0. Fargo Post 400 would answer back with an infield single from Hudson Laura. That made it 1-1. Then a 2-run double in the top of the third made it 3-1. It was a slicing fly ball, and it just could not be played to the best of the ability of the right fielder, making it 3-1. Jack Seidler with that 2-run base hit. And then from there, it was all DGF Post 397. A 2-run fourth inning. Fargo Post 400 would put up one in the bottom of the fourth. It'd be 5-2. And from there, it was just great at-bats followed by great hits, all part of a 9-run fifth inning for the DGF Post 397 Rebels. A 14-2 win for DGF Post 397 here this afternoon. They get 14 runs on 9 hits, no errors committed, while Fargo Post 400 scored 3 runs on 5 hits. They committed 4 errors. CJ Musso, the winning pitcher for today's game. He goes a complete 5 innings, giving up those 2 runs on 5 hits. That is a wrap for the post-game wrap-up of Game 1 of our doubleheader. The Fargo Post 400 Comets are coming up next here on the MSPN Digital Network.
The proceeding has been a copyrighted presentation of MSPN Digital Television. Follow us online by searching MSPN-DTV on YouTube and X to find broadcast schedules, on-demand broadcasts, and more. Thanks for watching MSPN Digital Television.